Hello and welcome to Dreaming Live الحب الحب. So my name is Mace, and for those who don't know me, I work in healthcare, in elder care. So it's been quite intense this pandemic. But out of the very intensity of reality, I've created for myself a magical creative universe in my tiny little apartment. A universe of ideas that are coming together and manifesting via two mediums. One being this show, which is essentially an archive of the values of some of my favorite, most uncompromised, and freest artists. And second is a book that is not yet written and might never be. A children's book that's not really for children, but what's coming out of me is, kind of that style. So it's not for children, but it's coming out of my inner child. So both the radio and the book, they run together and they feed each other. Ideas discussed through the show feed the book. In turn, the book feeds the topics discussed in the show. Both are essentially a collection of the values that I've collected over my life. Like everything is like coming together into these two that are now feeding each other like a rocket, and I'm sitting in between them. And as they grow, I grow. And I'm on this journey, a path that I'm absolutely in love with, and a path that I trust with all my being. So I'm telling this path, guide me, take me, I am good. Of course, a lot of work I have to put into this dream, but still somehow being guided. So today I'm hosting Marshall Allen, who has, since the death of Sun Ra in 1993, become the leader of the Sun Ra Arkestra. For those who don't know, first of all, Sun Ra was from Saturn. He was a jazz composer, a pianist, synthesizer player, multi-instrumentalist. He was a poet, a philosopher, a visionary, a messenger. The performances of Sun Ra and his orchestra included all mediums, all formats, or include music, dance, colors, uniforms, poetry, spoken words, very dynamic with all kinds of colors and textures and energies and frequencies. Sun Ra pushed the limits beyond any imaginable limit. And Marshall Allen describes Sun Ra as, he says that most people play within a square, but Sun Ra, he spirals, and he spirals out of the square into infinity. So Sun Ra claims that most trained musicians, they deal with what they're being taught, the known. He claims, I am dealing with the unknown, giving you impressions of the unknown. Sun Ra, as I said, he claims he's from Saturn and that his music is space music. He says, to me, all types of music are music, but all types of music are not space music. Space music is an introductory prelude to the sound of greater infinity. The things that Sun Ra said are things that logic could forever mock. Most people's reactions are that he's crazy or a madman, but those curious and those who open themselves up to receive the frequencies of Sun Ra and his orchestra, well, then they may experience their intuition, their feelings. If they become attuned to those, then they will feel and sense and experience things that are very, very special and perhaps transcendental. So just as the name of Alice Coltrane's album, Trance Illuminations, which means to pass light through medium, Sun Ra and his orchestra passed light through me and through millions of others, and for the last many decades, from the 50s on. So that's so that's 70 years. Incredible. Many of the members of Sun Ra himself, they claim that they did not understand Sun Ra at first. John Gilmore, who was a famous saxophonist in the US, playing with very famous jazz musicians, he said he played with Sun Ra for 6 months and could not understand it. Until one moment when he did, it was like an awakening, and it wasn't until 6 months later. From then on, he dedicated himself almost entirely to the orchestra. You see, it's how important it is, curiosity and openness. So our guest today shared a similar experience, that is to that of John Gilmore. Marshall Allen said he did not understand Sun Ra, but he knew there was something there, something very powerful. And he made it a dream to join the orchestra. He kept trying and trying, but it wasn't until he abandoned what he knew, everything that was fed to him, and that he finally could see. Again, he describes this as being a square. Everything that was fed to us boxes us, but Sun Ra was a spiral. So he had to abandon his knowledge, he had to dismantle that square, tap into his intuition, into his feeling. And even though he does not understand it, if you ask him, was Sun Ra from Saturn? Was that you ask all these, he says, I don't know, but I feel. And today he's 97, he still leads the orchestra, and he still feels and he guides, and I would say Marshall too is a spiral. So yes, so I just want to encourage for this episode and perhaps the next few to come to dismantle what the knowledge through the 5 senses that we have, and empower intuition and empower feeling. The world is experienced very differently in that way. So, as I said, Marshall is 97 today. He still runs the orchestra until, of course, the pandemic started, which everything stopped. But it is with greatest honor to host him today, to talk to him about life as a square, life as a spiral, about imagination being a magic carpet, about exploring space through sound, about enlightenment, about frequencies, energies, and about love. As always, I will play a song by Sun Ra and the orchestra. I play a song, and then I will play my discussion with Marshall Allen before I play more music of them. So enjoy and talk soon. Much love.
Now, the first thing that some people notice when they come to see you is the unique way that you conduct the orchestra. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I'm trying to acquaint them with outer space things. Yeah. Other planets have culture, dances that are unusual, music, and that's what I'm trying to get the planet ready for space beings, because they're sure to land soon.
I think they already have in Russia, right?
That's what they say.
That's the story.
Yeah.
Now, who are some of your early influences?
Well, the planets, the creator, mythical gods, and real ones, people, flowers, everything in nature, inspiration. Musicians get their inspiration really from environmental things, and all musicians are inspiration to me, no matter what style they're playing.
Mm-hmm. Well, why don't you introduce the next, the 2 pieces of music you're going to do?
The next song, the first song is Retrospect. It's not really about memory, it's just thinking about something, future, past, present, about something that's totally impossible. It's that kind of song. It's reaching out to the potentials of humanity, mm-hmm. potentials of eternal things. And the next one is about face to music, because music is considered as the truth, really. So you say, I'm singing face to music, because that's what this planet has to do now. They got to adjust themselves to another way of thinking and being. And this second song is about that.
But by all means, let's do it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Marshall. It's Mace.
Oh, how you doing?
Good. Is this a good time?
Yeah, it's snowing outside.
Oh, it's been.
Well, I'm in Philadelphia. It's snowing here, boy.
Are you happy about that?
No.
No.
Not too happy about no snow. I mean, it's cold, wind blowing, and the snow's wet.
Oh.
uh,
Well, the winter is almost over.
no, it's just starting around. This is about the coldest, one of the coldest weeks now.
Oh, yeah, here as well.
Before it was pretty good, you know. Then it starts.
But March is around the corner.
I guess it'll get around sometime anyway.
So you were born in 1924, right? Like before. I want to start with the before that you came with the orchestra. You were born, and so you saw a lot of things in the world. You saw the Second World War. You saw the Great Depression. You saw the virus. You saw a lot of things in history.
Oh yeah, a lot of wars and a lot of everything. Yeah, I was born in 1924. Back when we were only in 20s. I'll be 100 in 2024.
Beautiful. So what are some of the events through this time that you remember well?
That's why I said been born back. Yeah, I've been all through this stuff for 96 years already.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you remember that events that you remember most through this time, like a war or anything, or?
Oh yeah, well I was 33. I remember the stock market's falling and everybody was poor. Most of the folks anyway. And I remember those things. I remember going in the army when I went to the army for 7 years during World War II. And
how was that like?
Oh, that was like when you're young, you don't know what it's like. You just dream about what it's like. You know what I'm saying? So I was young and strong and willing to go. I'll go. They get in there and see all that hardship that you have to prepare yourself for. It's another story, you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the time, you described two things that I really like. You say that there's when you play or you are a square, and then there's the spiral, right?
Yeah, the spirit, you see, what you know is one thing, and the spirit is something else. So, like, as a young man, I was always doing something I know, you know?
Yeah, that's what Sun Ra said. He said most trained musicians deal with what they are being taught, with what they know.
Right.
I deal with the unknown, giving the impressions of the unknown.
So the unknown is the spirit of things of the day, at the time of everything. It still goes on in life like that. So those things are like, you know something, but it don't happen that way. It happens another way.
Yeah.
You see?
So you did not really understand Sun Ra, and I heard John Gilmore say the same thing. You both did not understand so much what was happening, and you stayed, but later you really understood.
Yes, because when you talk and you know, it gets in the way. In other words, it's one-sided.
Yeah, it's a square.
You know, but yet you live normal life or whatever on the spirit side, because you don't know what's going to happen in the day or nothing else. You see?
Yeah.
So in other words, he's trying to get us to not know so much.
To see to not know, so that we can see the invisible world.
So you can activate your spirit.
Yeah, and then you can see more.
Then you see more, yeah. Then you have an understanding.
But so you had a feeling that there was something, right, that kept you there. I mean,
I know it was something that was right before me, but I couldn't understand it. I needed somebody to see it.
Yeah. So John Gilmore, he said that he played with Sun Ra 6 months, and afterwards he had a moment where he really understood. He was playing something that he'd already played many
Well,
times.
yeah, I began to understand things.
Do you remember the moment where you the awakening, or was it like gradual, or do you
Well,
have a moment?
those moments come when he said he played something on the piano that I don't even know what he playing. He played something on the piano, then he said play it. And then I had to put the other part to it, whatever it was that I was thinking or feeling. So I didn't know what it was, so I played. I had to depend on my feelings and the spirit of things. And that's when I began to understand a little bit, you see.
Yeah.
What he meant, yeah. So he would play a song and just look over me and nod his head and say, it's your time to put something in the song. And he said he can take everybody and do those kind of things. Start a song, everybody puts their part in it, what they feel or what they hear.
So I always say, sorry, go ahead.
And makes a whole composition. We can sit there with a whole composition that nobody knows. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say that we have a fifth sense and a bigger intelligence, which is our intuition.
Yeah. Well, you got to use all of that. Yeah, all those things. And that's the way I begin to. I say it's something that I ain't got it yet, but I'm trying. At least I have something to work with. Try to train myself to listen and don't know so much, and tone down that and use the spirit. So that's why I use it now. I begin to see it more as long as I play with it, you know.
Yeah, you see more and more.
More, yeah, and then I understand more too. Yeah.
John Coltrane, he used to say that when he plays and he gets so lost that he starts to see himself play, like he goes outside of his body and starts to watch himself play. How far do you go into the creative flow when you're in a deep creative flow? What is it like?
Well, I did go outside of my body.
Oh, beautiful.
And then, like, you just go through walls, you go through anything until you start thinking. And like I went outside my body one time, so tense. And then when I got outside, I went through the wall, and I started thinking. And then I started getting kind of shaky, scared. And I ran back through there. But that's what it is. I didn't have no faith. I said, maybe I can't. And when I did that, I had to come back. But
so
I've done
that's
that.
Some people call this transcendence, right?
Yeah, I've done that. Because I went to, I was at a friend's house over in Jersey. And I went right through the walls. They were in the front room. I was in the back room, way back there. And I heard everything they said and everything they were talking about, because I went through the wall and went in there. And after I was sitting there listening to them, I started thinking about getting back. And that's when I had boom, shoot back in the wall. So the next day I went and told them everything they was talking about. And I was supposed to have been back there asleep. So I guess who believes it, some believe it, some was kind of skeptical.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I believed it. Yeah.
So
I had done it.
Tell me about exploring the universe through sound.
Well, let's see, it's somewhere else. So that's what it is. You dream, you think, and you wonder there's a better world somewhere else. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it creates a better world. Spirit. We make people think of other things outside all the misery that they're going through.
Exactly. You make people.
Mm.
You make a better world. You know how I say you make a better world. Alice Coltrane has an album. It's called Trans Illumination, which
Yeah.
means that you pass light through something. So I think there's like a transcendence in the creative flow, and then you create from there, and then you trans
Mm.
illuminate people back in Earth.
Yeah, that's what Sun Ra used to tell us, things like that. So, until it's little things happen to you, you just wonder about it. But when the little things happen to you, you see. It is something, but you can't put your finger on it yet. Because when you come back into the I know, you're back in the square again.
Back in the square, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think intuition gets you out of the square because
Well,
logic
yeah, it moves, yeah. It's in the spiral, it moves.
spiral.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. What are space chords?
Well, that's a chord. You hit a chord, you got a note in that. You got half note, quarter notes, eighth and everything kind of notes in that. Dealing with sound. Because they teach you, as a kid, sound body, sound mind. So you use sound for your body and mind. So you hit a space chord, it's what you would hear in the universe, all those different sounds, even more. You see?
Yes. So how big is the universe?
Oh, so well, I don't know.
Sun Ra said that,
It's so big. It's so big. I don't know.
yeah. Sun Ra said space music is an introductory prelude to the sound of greater infinity.
Yeah, sure. If you get used to different sounds and things and messages and whatever, with different sounds. So you the sound body, sound mind, using sound.
To explore the
Sound.
universe.
Yeah, you can use the sound to heal. You can use the sound to kill.
Yeah.
You see? So it's how you use it.
Yes, and you can use sound to also brainwash people if you want.
Right. I see it's how you use it. Because they got invented some kind of sound gun. They throw the sound out and bust concrete open and stuff. They reinforce concrete. Sound gun. So, it's for good things and bad, like everything in life is for.
You say you make
Right and
music
wrong.
for well-being, and you're 94 years old, so obviously your music for your well-being is good for your well-being. So tell us
Right,
about
because
that.
was that what you put out there, you get back. So if you put good vibrations and sound out, you get it back. You see?
Yes.
It rotates around. If you put bad stuff out there, you get that back too.
Yes.
So music is a very it's not just,
How
it's
do
the thing you have to play your spirit,
yeah.
in the music. That's all. And that's the real you and thinking. And then you're not even thinking, you're just doing.
Yes, some people they think they're doing them, but there are already so many layers of brainwashing that they're not doing them. And also, some people know that they're not doing them. They make music for money or for temptation or for fame. Uh, yeah.
Well,
How do you?
all of that's in there.
Yeah.
So, but the real thing is that I'm doing the music I didn't care about what the money was or the fame. I wanted to get the music. You know, I want to use the music. They say the music can heal, music can kill, music make you happy, music can make you cry, music can do wonderful things if you master it and use it. So it's like most things in life. You use it for the better of living and stuff, of being. Or you can use it to destroy. So it's up to the people, you know. So musicians play the music to keep people happy and have moments of
Trans-illumination.
Yeah, all of that.
I've heard you say something very beautiful. You said to create feeling, it has to go through feeling.
Right. That's right. So you can sit down and try to analyze everything, but what you're going to analyze, something you don't know or something you don't know that's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to happen. So then, if you got your spirit open and your mind and the ability, your spirit take care of things.
Yeah.
Your intuition would tell you about things. Because I was walking down the street one day, so I walked down to the corner, turn the corner, go down the sidewalk and right on around. So this night I went down to the corner, and they had fixed the street, and I said, "Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna walk out there." I walked out in the street, and a big plank where I was walking from the sidewalk fell off the house front. See, I'd have been right there where the plank was if I went the regular way. But just something told me to go over there and walk on that nice paved street, you see. So that's when I wasn't thinking. Something told me to do this. You just went over there, you see. I didn't plan that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that happened that way. Otherwise, the plank would have been down on my head. You see?
I'm glad too.
It came off the front of the house, you know.
A lot of people are glad. Me and I'm sure a lot of other people are also glad that you didn't stay there.
Yeah. See, some things that you think to do and then don't do it and go another way.
Yes, it's also a bit like when you were with Sun Ra and the Arkestra, and you guys had a car accident in New York, and so you rented a place until for a few days, but then ended up staying 10 years. So you ended up staying in New York for 10 years because of a car accident. That's also one of those interesting terms.
We got what they call stranded in New York.
Yeah.
We didn't have a transportation to get back to Chicago. So the taxi tore up our car, so we had to wait and try to get the money for the car so we could get back home. But the money didn't come till about a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we going to do in the meantime? We don't have no money, no place to stay. Yeah,
you know about when you saying like to understand, like people analyzing things. The problem I think is sometimes we try to analyze everything, but we as human beings, our senses are limited, so we cannot analyze. We cannot understand everything, and if we really stick to logic and stick to this, then we will be in a prison because there's a lot of things that then we cannot see anything that we cannot explain. But we can't be so arrogant to think that we can explain everything. So obviously there are things that we as limited human beings cannot explain.
Right. Well, you're on the right track. That's true. Yeah. So somebody told us, well, we don't have no money. We'll stay here. And I'm saying, well, we ain't got no money. Where are we going to stay? But somehow the Creator helped us, and we made it. We went and got an apartment and didn't have no money, so we had to get around to get enough money to pay the rent. Waiting on this money from the car, and when it came, it wasn't much of nothing.
Yeah.
You know. So, but after about a year or something, so. But anyway, we made out and everything.
But it's some of those happy it's an accident, but it ended up a good thing maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So we went to New York and we stayed in New York and we played all over New York and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted
all down the village and all those coffee houses and everywhere.
So you keep repeating the words that I love from one of the lyrics is imagination is a magic carpet.
Right, imagination is a magic carpet. They soar to different lands and climb and go beyond the moon and the planets in the sky. So,
to infinity.
Yeah, we use all those things. Sun Ra took his poetry and his meanings and put them to words in the song. So if you want somebody to learn it, all you do is sing a song and put what you want them to hear in there. You see?
Yes.
It's like space age is here to stay. There is no place you can run away. You run to the rock to hide your face. The rock cried out, no hiding place. So with that, space age is here to stay. No place you can run away. See, put some music to it.
Yes. His
so
messages.
It says the space age is here to stay. No place you can run away. You can run to the rock to hide your face. The rock cried out, so not no hiding place. Space age is here to stay. So he put his poetry and his meaning into song where people could sing it and understand.
Yeah.
Space age is here to stay. So get prepared for it. Because there's no place you can run away.
Do you see color in sounds and texture? Could you see sounds? Like, could you cross your senses? Like see sound and hear a color. Like if I see a bright golden color, I can, like I can hear the golden colors in Sun Ra and the orchestra's music. I can hear different colors. Do you feel like?
Yeah, that's just what we do. We do paintings. We've painted our album covers with paint. I was eating some rice and it got caught down there. We said now we'll do the artwork on the covers. Everybody do what they think or what they feel, and that's the way we do it. And everybody put album covers.
Okay. So Sun Ra really, he did this. He didn't tell you what to do, but he brought out the best and the individuality in each one of you that nobody even knew they had within them, right?
Well,
but this is maybe also this is what the orchestra does.
They do it. He was a different kind of person. I never run into many people like him. But he was different. He could see beyond his nose, You understand? He could see and he could read you. You couldn't fool him. He just seemed to have that open spirit that knew. You could see your potential, and he work at it, and he know how to get it out if you willing to do it,
Yes.
Well, it was a different kind of person. Something you would probably dream about. Because I never dreamed about I'd have a good teacher like that to live up under.
And now you're a teacher to other people like myself.
Well, I try to learn and try to turn myself around and see what he was doing and then pass it on. So his music fascinated me. That's where I started because I heard the music first. And I said, ooh, that's a band with some sound that just sounds different. So I said, oh, well, let me find that band. Because I didn't have no band to play with, so I had to find somebody.
Yeah.
So I heard that music and I followed the music.
What do you say to people who are scared of the? What do you say to people who are scared to hear the unknown? Or
well, in the beginning, everybody likes to, you know, know when you know a song or you got a certain way of hearing a song, you get used to that, and then that's it. But if you come in with something different, it's always stop and listen.
yeah,
So it took time because people, you say, oh, we're going to a concert, then you know what, it's going to be what you like and all of that. But we was playing things that you didn't like and didn't understand, and they didn't understand, and they wouldn't give in because they have been already in their mind, the things that they like.
yeah.
You see? So it was, in the beginning was, some people stood it and some people couldn't stand it because they had their own thing, own reasons. This is the way music's supposed to be. Their own idea. Somebody else's idea, somebody else's world, not my idea. Things as they are, you see?
Yes.
Yeah, all of those things.
So it must have been difficult.
Said we got to create this music and turn these people's thinking around and complacency and turn them around and shake them up.
I love that shake up from complacency.
Yeah, shake you up. and there's a
Wake them up
in the music. Yeah.
How long did it take? Like, did your parents understand that music? Did your friends understand? Like,
No. They don't understand the part. I put it that way. Because they said I'm a musician, pursuing music. But they couldn't quite, somehow was a little stream for him, a little strong there.
Yeah.
he was going the other way, and I'm saying to myself, I'm staying here till I find out what this stuff is that he's trying to get us to do. You see?
Yeah. So was it hard when people called him and you? Did people call you a madman, or was it hard when people would read and maybe still do? I don't know, but when people don't understand our language, they label things.
Well, that's what I said. Like we sang a song, space station's here to stay. No place you can run away. So where you running to? What you doing?
Yeah.
Space station is here to stay.
Yeah. So whether they like it or not,
write in the words, sing the song, dance on the song, and get to them one way or another.
I spoke to someone who said something really I like. He said, when you make music that doesn't belong in a system or doesn't belong in the square, then that music is timeless. So I think that it is here to stay, because even if the system falls, it doesn't belong in that system. And you've lived through many different trends and styles and fashions, but this music is still here.
Right, that's right. Because I was taught in the foundation and in the square of a foundation. You got to have a foundation. So we all go in the foundation to get the roots of things. And then you grow with it. Like a tree, you get to plant the tree, and it grows all kinds of ways.
Yes, and it grows to a point where people start calling you weird or mad or all of it.
Yeah, because they got their mindset on one thing, and that's it. And which is all right, but then it doesn't move. It doesn't. Its scope is not as big.
Did that ever make you feel like any doubt?
Oh, I felt all the feelings that a man could feel. I felt smart. I felt dumb. I just felt bewildered. I felt everything doing this stuff. I played the music and didn't understand and didn't feel it, and all those things that been through me.
And then you became a spiral.
Then that's what happens to you when you learning anything. It comes a time when everything look like you don't know which way to go, but you keep going.
You trust your path.
I had to find out what he was talking about. He was always talking about something strange that I wasn't even thinking about or didn't even know about. So I said, well, don't know nothing. Keep your mouth shut and listen. And I'll try to understand. Yeah.
So if someone is young and people call them weird and madmen, what advice do you have for those people?
Well, it is weird to them until they see beyond the nose. You understand? Because you have to.
No, but once
something's different, and it's like anything. If something different, you got to go in there and see.
Yes, but once you do see it, but your family says you're crazy, and your friends say you're crazy, and everyone says you're crazy.
Well, that's because they didn't see it yet.
So do you have advice for the kid who...
Really, I see something that you don't see. You see? All those things. You say and they say, really, I see something you don't see.
Okay, that's what we're going to tell them. So that's the most beautiful advice. We see something you don't see.
You don't see. That's it.
That should be...
Until you see it, you don't understand.
Wow, I love that.
You see?
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, you have to just whatever it is, you got to do it for real. It's got to be for real. You can't just say I know don't work.
You have to go down to the most quintessential.
Really know.
Yeah.
And you don't have to explain a feeling.
Because logic is a prison. Needing to...
Yeah, you feel a feeling. You feel I know when you hear it. You see?
Yes.
Now it has to be explained. Really, for people who's devoted to something and really the spirit of things, you don't need words to tell you that. You feel it.
It's like falling in love.
Right. That's right.
You just know it. And it doesn't make sense.
You feel it. You might not know what to say, but you still feel it.
And sometimes you see someone that's exactly what you know. They check all the marks, but you don't feel it, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. So as life goes along and you really express yourself from not the I know side, but from the feeling side.
Yes.
You can talk to people all day and they know, and you can't get no further than that.
So, tell me, I want to ask about another word, enlightenment. What does that mean to you?
Enlightenment.
Yes.
All the burdens is enlightened. See, enlightenment. Something that all this other stuff you worry about is don't exist down in there, because it's enlightenment. Enlightenment to something better. Something better.
Enlightenment is what happens when the Sun Ra Arkestra...
When you're being enlightened.
Trans-illuminates. The music, the Sun Ra Arkestra trans-illuminates, and then that enlightens.
Enlightenment.
It passes light through bodies, and that then is...
So we had sang a song, Enlightenment, but we got a song by that name.
Exactly, that's why I asked about the name. So, I believe that, I grew up in a place, there's a lot of wars around us and a lot of destruction. And I used to feel very passionate about like fighting and changing things. But now maybe because I've reached a very loss of hope, I feel that to change, it has to be inside. It has to start really inside. Like it has to start for any kind of change around us. But and that's why I feel now, after all of the weapons of change that I've seen, I find now today that still the most empowering tool for change is art and expression. Not art, expression, the voice of the human spirit, whether it's through music or through words or through color. Or and I think that we are the future.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In some far place, in light years in space, we'll wait for you. For human feet have never trod and human eyes have never seen the better kind of world of abstract dreams.
Beautiful.
We tell people all these things in a song.
Exactly. In the scriptures.
If you
The songs are
see it
scriptures.
in the portrait way, is one listening. You put it in a song and the rhythm behind it, and then you hear the song and you hear the rhythm, and there you are. You get it. It's much easier, you see, because you can make you move and shake your head and pat your feet and all of that. While the song
these are
has the meaning.
Greatest vibrations.
Right. So all those things you do that you don't plan, you can't plan that. You do it, whatever is necessary at the time. You come to a building and the sound, you hear the note. You see what the sound of the building is. Then you got to take that under consideration. And then you see, well, everything like that. Then when people come in, the sound changes again. Because it's a lot of people and absorb the sound, the echoes and vibrations and stuff.
Vibrations.
Yeah, so you start out and you don't know what you're going to do, but you're going to play. So they don't know what I'm going to tell them to do. So watch me.
And even you don't know what you're going to do, right?
No. They never know. So I got different code names. That's why we have rehearsal. You get different codes on the vibrations of the day. And if you thinking, you're going to be in the wrong place a lot. But if you're not thinking and you don't know either,
and you let
what
go,
would you do? You see? And that's the challenge. And they all think about that. And, I don't know. I don't want you to know. I want you to feel. Feel the way you're supposed to do. Not know the way you're supposed to do.
To see beyond the
and
five
senses. And
senses.
it's a challenge because everybody's doing it the first time. Together.
Hmm.
You see? Yeah, and it sounds weird. It sounds like, oh, my God. But it's not. Because we got each other to follow each other's vibrations, to put them together. You see?
Yes.
So you pay attention and you be your real self. And no added attractions. Be yourself. What do you hear? What do you feel? And put it in the right place. Just like a jigsaw puzzle. You know, if you put a forced piece in there, it ain't gonna work. You got to put each piece in the right place to get the picture. And that's done through the spirit and paying attention and cast away all the negative junk out of your mind. You see?
Yes.
Because it comes that music is healing. Let's make music heal. You see?
Yes.
If someone there, like a lady comes and say, "Oh, I was feeling so bad when I got here, and now I feel so happy."
You know, I literally feel
Mhm.
like when I listen to some of your records, I literally feel that word trans illumination, which is the passing of light through a body. I literally see light pass through my body.
Right. Well, that's what I say. So it's always like that. So so you did it, and you come back and you do it again, it's different. And each time you play, it's different.
Because each moment is
Even if you
different.
play the same song,
Yeah.
you see.
Because each moment, I think the moment is so important. Every moment is different.
We have to capture that.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
Well, okay, I think we've covered the. Like, your words have been extremely beautiful, and you are very beautiful. I have tremendous love for you.
All right. I don't know where else. If I found some, I just do it. I do it because I can't analyze what I'm doing. It's being done at the right time, the right place. So I said, if you want to get the goal at the end of the rainbow, you got to be at the right place at the right time, at the right moment.
Yeah, to catch the
You
signal.
and you get the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
You see?
Wow, that's a great reference.
Yeah.
I
So
used
I
to.
live my life in what it is, you know, and you live in what it is. And every day you get up, you know what you want to do. You got everything planned, but it don't always go like that. There's always something else injected in there.
Yep.
So I get up in the morning. I'm happy to get up and I sing a song, da da da, dee dee dee, and get on up and keep moving.
Yes.
I'm happy to get up at 96, going on 97. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for this conversation.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's all right. It's all right. It's wonderful.
Thank you for everything that you've done for so many spirits like mine.
Yeah, I think on doing some more. Yeah,
You
I
will.
ain't giving up.
You will. You
I
will.
feel good.
We.
I'm pretty good health, whatever, But nothing bothers me mentally. I don't have no mental
Yeah. You.
stress stuff. Because I listen to some sounds and stuff, and just take myself out of this orbit into another orbit.
This is what I
And I
do.
use music, sound body, sound mind.
Yeah.
Using sound to heal myself. And not to worry about nothing, money or honey or nothing. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't do too much worry. I might worry for a few minutes, but I don't worry. And I know what I have to do, and I know what I have to do for my own self.
Well-being.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Okay. Much love. Thank you. Like, this is your words are so beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, I tried to live them, but you know how that is. You do some of it, but everything don't fall just perfectly.
Of course.
But nevertheless.
It's a forever journey.
Yeah, because I'm looking for myself. I'm saying, don't get over in that hole. Don't fall over in that rabbit hole. That's
Oh.
it.
Well,
Yeah, myself straight away of knowing what I have to do and what things to come that I have to do. It's simple. and then I forget about our old lambs. So if I get up and I walk up the steps a little slow, that's because I don't walk up there about 20 to 30,000 times. You just have to slow up sometimes.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, love you, much love, and I hope to meet you one day soon.
All right, you probably will if I'm still
You
running the road.
Oh, yes. I'm not too
All right.
far. Right now I'm in Montreal, so maybe I'll come visit one day.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
The last planet I remember is planet Saturn. I'm from there. I've been Jupiter too, but I didn't go by myself. Some other type of beings took me. The ones that's gonna land soon took me, and they taught me a lot of things. Sound can run things. Sound can wash clothes. Sound can do a lot of things. They got little antennas over the eyes and little antennas over the ears. One each over, one over each ear. Something like Spock. People need to be tuned up. They're out of tune with the universe. And that's why they get sick and all that, because they're out of tune. Music is a language. And if I can get this planet to listen carefully, they will change.
After the end of the world. Don't you know that yet? It's after the end of the world. Don't you know that yet? It's after the end of the world. Don't you know that yet? It's after the end of the world. Don't you know that yet? It's after the end of the world. Don't you know that yet? It's after the end of the world. Don't you know that yet? It's after the end of the world.